Precision International is proud to have been named a GM Supplier of the Year for 5 consecutive years by General Motors. Precision is in the bag.
Hi, I'm John Salazzo, Vice President of Sales for Precision International. For over 40 years, Precision International has been providing transmission shops around the world the best sourced, most complete transmission kits available. We make every effort to provide transmission rebuilders with key information, including installation tips and product updates to make rebuilds with our kits more efficient and easier. Our website features an ever-increasing library of video seminars featuring industry expert John Parmenter. John has made presentations at trade shows and taught classes on transmission rebuilds around the world. John also runs his own very successful transmission shop in Center H, Long Island. We've asked him to talk about some of the day-to-day business strategies he employs to manage the shop and share some of his experiences from providing seminars around the world. We hope that after watching John's videos, they benefit you and your shop. Thank you.
All right. So here we have a 4L60E that we took in last night. We've had a run on 6L80s, 6L90s, and it wasn't paying attention. And the 4L60Es that I had on the shelf, we went through them. So we're gonna knock this out quick for the customer. Unit's actually still warm. Team just pulled it out. Typically I'll knock this out today. My guys will come in tomorrow morning. It'll be ready to go and we'll get it out of here. This isn't a big deal. We have everything in stock for this. It's actually a refreshing break because it's something we run through pretty easy. Any kind of luck, it'll come apart without too much trouble. This is the 4-wheel drive version of a 4L60E because it's got the transfer case on the back of it. There's the short tail housing on it. I'll knock this all down. We already have a converter in stock for it, we checked. My guys will put the hot flusher on the cool lines now. They'll flush that out. Make sure that that's ready to go. This is a common thing here in the shop is that we'll have people drop off stuff on Long Island. Everyone's rushing, hustling for $1. So I'm here from 6 to 6 almost every Monday to Friday. People come and drop stuff off after hours. They put it in the keys in the night drop. And typically we won't see the customer until the job is done and they come to pick it up. Ed is in constant contact with people. My manager, he's sending them pictures through the cell phone, which is really pretty cool because the average customer won't ask a question because they've come here as a referral and they trust us or their family trusts us to do the right thing. However, we like to along the way send them a picture of the tranny out or of the tranny apart on the bench, just as a courtesy. And probably 95% of the people we send the pictures to say to us, you know, wow, that's really cool. Can you save the bad parts so I can see them? Which we're always happy to do. Usually Saturday mornings is a show and tell morning. We'll deliver a lot of jobs to customers and we'll take the time to explain stuff to them. During the week, you know, I am the worst one out of everybody in the building. I'm dialed into what I'm doing and I'm not as courteous as I should be to people. That's why I pay a manager to do that because he's great at that. Because people want to, you know, they want a little bit of lip service. They want to hear some information of what's going on. Some people don't. They just want to pay the job and get the car back and get back on the road again. Okay. This transmission is is everywhere. It's global. I've worked on these in Moscow. I've worked on these in Rio. GM makes a million different versions of them. What the great thing is that there used to be one big housing where the bell housing and the casing was the same component. Then GM, years ago, in their infinite wisdom, made the bell housing removable, which is what I'm doing right now. And the bell housing comes off, as you can see, and it can make the transmission fit just about any configuration of engine. Because this comes off, and guys in the trade are used to seeing this, but when I talk to people in Moscow and talk to people in Mexico, this will be behind the 4-cylinder, this will be behind an odd 3-cylinder. I've seen them behind everything. And this GM made this universal, so it fits everywhere. So now we've taken the bell housing off, the tail housing off, we've taken the linkage off, the switch off. This is basically the tranny right now, and it reminds you of an old standard shift transmission where it's so compact and so small. But there's an awful lot going on inside of this. This is actually from the Stone Age now because it's a 4-speed transmission, whereas I'm working on 6 and 8 speeds now. And we just took apart a 10-speed for R&D for precision. So we're seeing a lot of different things coming down the road. Here we're taking the 2.4 servo out of the case. It's a servo lowering. These will be frozen in the case sometimes. We can't get them out. We'll leave them in the case, put it in a hot tank, and then let it soften itself up. Right now we're just knocking it down quick to see if anything out of the ordinary is bad. If the case is bad, the housing is bad, or if anything, you know, unforeseen is going to rear its ugly head. So it holds up production. Now it's 11:30 on the East Coast. I'll have 2 more parts deliveries from my delivery people today. We have 2 containers out back with over 200 cores, which are stuff I got from salvage yards for parts. If need be, I'll have one of my guys go retrieve one, but we should have enough components in inventory to build about 3 of these, no matter what's wrong with it. This is the tranny pan, and you see the debris in here, and we can't do smell-o-vision, too bad, but this is stinking pretty good. We're gonna have, you know, some burn clutches, some burn something in this. There's a common issue with these. This is nothing, guys in the trade notice, this is nothing exotic. This is something that we do, you know, every day. People watching this for the first time, getting a little insight as to what's going on in the tranny shop when something goes wrong with your tranny. You get to watch this from start to finish, which is pretty unique. We had a bunch of people that requested to see something like this. To us, we take it for granted because we just do it every day. But it is neat to see. So now I'm undoing electronics in the transmission. So like people, you know, are constantly asking questions, you know, how can you have electronics and oil? Well, this is a basic system. This has got, you know, an on-off solenoid. This has got some shift solenoids. It's got a switch that indicates what range it's in, and a pressure control solenoid. On the later model transmissions, I've got, you know, computers stacked up 2 on top of each other, immersed in transmission fluid. And what happens is any contamination gets in there, it kills the computer. Contamination would be antifreeze coming out of the cooling system getting into the trans, because the transmission cooler shares space with the engine radiator. So right now I'm removing the main control, or what's commonly called the valve body. This controls all the shift ranges and the shift functions, and the internal components are the actual gears which make things happen.